Hey yo, what's going on guys? It's your boy Scatino, aka Scat, and in today's video we're going to be talking about The Hobbit, directed by Peter Jackson. Now, as you all know, or you should know by now, The Hobbit was slated to be released in two parts. Part 1 being An Unexpected Journey, which is due to be released in December of this year. Part 2 will be called The Hobbit There and Back Again, which was due to be released in December of next year, in December of 2013. However, Peter Jackson have just announced that, from all the rumours that were going round about it, that they are indeed going to be releasing a third film of The Hobbit. Now, what does this basically mean? Well, he's basically cut right. Well, I'm going to show you the actual quote from him. So I'm going to show that now. I'm going to read it out now, and then I'll come back to the video. Okay, guys. So this is what Peter Jackson had to say about the announcement. It is only at the end of a shoot that you finally get the chance to sit down and have a look at the film you have made. Recently, Fran, Phil, and I did just this when we watched for the first time an early cut of the first movie and a large chunk of the second. We were really pleased with the way the story was coming together, in particular the strength of the characters and the cast who have brought them to life, all of which gave rise to a simple question. Do we take this chance to tell more of the tale? And the answer, from our perspective as the filmmakers and as fans, was an unreserved yes. We know how much of the story of Bilbo Baggins, the wizard Gandalf, the dwarves of Erebor, the rise of the necromancer, and the battle of Dol Guldur will remain untold if we do not take this chance. The richness of the story of The Hobbit, as well as some of the related material in the appendices of The Lord of the Rings, allows us to tell the full story of the adventures of Bilbo Baggins and the part he played in the sometimes dangerous, but at all times exciting, history of Middle-earth. So without further ado, and on behalf of New Line Cinema, Warner Brothers Pictures, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, Wingnut Films and the entire cast and crew of the Hobbit films, I'd like to announce that 2 films will become 3. It has been an unexpected journey indeed, and in the words of Professor Tolkien himself, a tale that grew in the telling. Cheers, Peter Jackson. Okay, so as you've probably seen, he's basically saying that he wants to be able to tell more of the story of The Hobbit. He basically wants to put everything into these films, from all the appendices, from The Lord of the Rings that talk about The Hobbit, everything. He wants to put it all in. But the question on my mind is this all money grabbing? Proper money grabbing. Now, don't get me wrong, The Lord of the Rings trilogy, by far my favourite films of all time. I'm a huge fan. Definitely love those movies. I think Peter Jackson just done an amazing job with those films. When The Hobbit actually got announced and, Peter Jackson come on board to direct it, because he originally wasn't going to direct it, he was just producing the film. My hype levels just went psh, and then I saw the trailer for it and my hype levels went even higher than that. So, I was kind of expecting anyway that the film would be released in 2 parts, because, just the way Peter Jackson is with the source material, and, that's kind of what I was expecting. What I wasn't expecting, though, was it to be a full year between the releases. I think, there's only 2 films there. There's 2 films telling one story, basically, whereas The Lord of the Rings was 3 stories. Well, 3 movies telling 3 stories, but as a whole, if you know what I mean. Like each book, there was different scenarios. It was like a different story, but contained within the one central theme of getting to Mount Doom with the ring. So I was thinking it was going to be more along the lines of, I think, like Harry Potter, and I think it was definitely the Deathly Hallows, which were released, I think it was 6 months apart. I think that would have been the better choice. But now he's throwing this third film into the mix. I'm not sure about exactly how it's gonna fit in. You know, I mean, is the third film gonna come after the second one, or is the second one gonna be pushed back because that's already been filmed pretty much? So is the second one with the actual ending of the movie gonna be pushed back in order to accommodate this third one into the middle? You know, it's getting all confusing. He's not announced a release date for it. He's not announced any subtitle for it, like A Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey, nothing like that. So that's all going to come within the next coming days, weeks, couple of months or whatever, because he needs to get all the actors back anyway to start shooting this part of the movie again. I'm hoping it's not going to be a yearly release. I mean, this is just one book. Now, let me put this into some context for you. Here is The Hobbit. That is a Hobbit book. That's how thick it is. This book contains 365 pages. That's one book for The Hobbit. The Lord of the Rings, that's how big The Lord of the Rings is. And it's a gorgeous book, by the way. If anyone's not read it, or if you want a new version of the book, I'd definitely pick up this version because it's got some great artwork. Now, the Fellowship of the Ring, I'm not comparing The Hobbit to the full Lord of the Rings trilogy. The Fellowship of the Ring, which is the first book, contains 427 pages. And that was all just one film. The Hobbit contains near enough 100 pages less, and it's being shot into 3 films. So this is what I'm thinking about. Is it money grabbing? I mean, we don't even know how long these movies are going to be. Is each movie going to be 3 hours long, like The Lord of the Rings? You know, are they going to be shorter, an hour and a half? If the movies are shortened to about an hour and a half, then I probably could see why he's separating it into 3 films. If they're at 3 hours long each, that's a hell of a long time for such a short book. Not only that, when I'm thinking about this whole money grabbing situation, you know, you've got to think about this. The films are being shot in IMAX and 3D. Couple them together, and that's a lot more money that you have to pay to see the film in IMAX as well as 3D than you would pay for a standard ticket. Now, currently at my local IMAX cinemas, to watch an IMAX movie in 3D as well, it costs you around £13. I'm not sure how much that is in US dollars. So you times £13 by 3 over three films, which may even increase next year and the year after. That comes up to what, 13, 13. Can't even do the math. £39, yeah? Add on to that your popcorn and everything that you got to buy. So if I went and bought a super combo at my local IMAX, which is a large popcorn and a large drink, and that costs £8, times that again by another 3, and your total, just to watch one whole film, comes up to about 63 quid. That's a lot of money to spend. I mean, you can argue, well, it's 3 separate films, this, that and the other, but as one movie, because, you know, look at it as a whole, one whole movie for one book, that's a lot of money to spend. You know, I think, personally for me, I would have liked to have seen Peter Jackson, of course, film these additional scenes, film it all, but not release it as a separate film. He could have easily stuck these on to the extended edition of the DVD and Blu-ray. That's what I'm talking about. Is it just money grabbing? You know, because The Lord of the Rings, you know, Fellowship, Two Towers, Return of the King, all had extended editions. Granted, the extended editions didn't contain enough new footage to warrant a whole brand new film. But then again, like I go back to saying, how long are these movies actually going to be? Is it really just going to drag these movies out? Are they, you know, are they going to get so long-winded that we end up getting bored? You know what I mean? And it's a lot more to do with, you know, character building and all that, character development. Is it just going to be long dialogue scenes without any action? Are we going to get bored of it? So that's kind of my problem with it yet. I mean, obviously, I don't know how he's going to go about doing it. I've got every faith in Peter Jackson that he can pull it off and make 3 great movies for this one book. But, you got to think about the economic status of the country and everything. Is this really a wise choice for us, like the consumers and the audience who are actually going to pay our money for this? Like I said, I would have much preferred Peter Jackson to have filmed all these and just put them on the extended edition of the Blu-rays that are going to come out, So that's basically it. So I really want to know what you guys think about this, because I've got really strong feelings about this. I mean, I'm not trying to rant, I'm not trying to rave, I'm not trying to, call Peter Jackson out and this, that and the other. Because I'm a fan of the books, I'm a fan of the movies, I'm a fan of his, so it's not about that. This is just a legitimate concern about, is it the studios wanting him to make this, a bit more extra money for them, or is it Peter Jackson himself? And, is this really in the best interest for us or for the studios, So we'll see. But yeah, hit me up in the comment section and let me know what you think, because like I say, I'd love to know what you guys make of this new announcement today. So yeah, so that's it from me. I'm your boy Scatinio, and I'm out. Peace.